What's up everybody? Welcome to today's Tableau walkthrough. In this video, we'll walk through how to connect different data sources into Tableau. So let's get started. First step is to make sure you have Tableau downloaded. The second step is to open your Tableau application, which is where we're going to start. I have my Tableau pinned to my taskbar. I'm using Tableau 2023.2. There's also probably later versions out there by the time you watch this particular video. And I'm also on Windows or PC. First, once you click it, it may take a little while to load if it's your first time opening it. But once you open it, you should see a home screen that looks similar to this. In the middle section, you will see all the Tableau workbooks that you worked on previously. Don't worry, yours may be blank, but it should fill up once we go through all these video sessions. To the right, we have the Discover panel, where this is where you can get more information all about Tableau or even access to some different resources that would help you to progress as a Tableau user. And to the left, this is where I believe the magic happens. So this is what you're probably going to get really familiar with throughout these particular walkthroughs. This is where you actually use to connect your data. The first thing, if we go from top to bottom, is the way that you connect your data is to search for data using a Tableau server. So if you have a Tableau cloud, this is where you would access that particular data. The second phase, and the one that you will get familiar with my walkthroughs, is to a file. You connect to a file like Microsoft Excel, text files, and even CSV files. One of the most important ways to connect data, especially when we're talking about big data, is using a server. So that could be Microsoft SQL Server or MySQL or PostgreSQL. And then one thing and one easy way to connect data, just so you can get more familiar with Tableau, is using saved data sources that they have embedded in Tableau. And we'll use these throughout my walkthrough as well, which are Sample Superstore and the World Indicator. However, the first way we're going to connect data sources is using Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to navigate to the left panel. Under to a file, you will see Microsoft Excel. I'll click on that. Once you click on that, either your Finder window or folder window will open up. All the files that I have saved are in my download folder, and you will have access to these particular files either on the course page under this video or in the video description. And Tableau is smart enough to know when we click on Microsoft Excel to only show the type of Microsoft Excel worksheet. So I'll click on that, click open. You can also double click and that should do the same thing. And now you should see your Tableau populate a window like this. So to the left, we have our connections. So as you can see, we have our Sample Superstore dataset connected. Our Microsoft Excel indicator identifies that it is a Microsoft Excel worksheet. And then under the Microsoft Excel worksheet, it has sheets. And this is if you had different worksheets within Excel. If you're familiar with Excel, this will show you all the different worksheets that you have in Excel that you can use to join different data sources. The next thing that we have is a preview. Down here at the bottom, we're able to preview everything that our data has to offer. So it breaks it up into columns similar to Excel, puts it into a table, but also it has that indicator of all the types of data that we're going to use. To the left of this particular preview, it breaks all the columns down into type, field name, the physical table is from, and what type of data that it actually is. And here to our right, we have the connection. It can be live or extract. Typically, I like to use extract so that we have a fixed data set, and Tableau's interaction with live datasets can take a little while for it to update. Now that we have connected to a data source of Excel, now let's go into connecting to a CSV file. So I'm going to open my Tableau application again. After opening my Tableau application, I'm going to navigate to a file section, which is on my left panel. Then what's different between the Microsoft Excel file and the CSV file, you have to click that More button, which will give you options to add different files. Like I said, when we click Microsoft Excel and Tableau, it auto-populated just the Microsoft Excel sheets. Now we have access to the comma separated values file or the CSV file. So I'm going to click on that, click Open, and now we should see something very similar to what we've seen in the Excel file. I'm not going to go through the same scenarios. The major differences between the Microsoft Excel file and connecting a CSV file is what happens in this left panel. So if I zoom in here, of course, in the connections, you see that it's a text file. Then below, instead of sheets, it says files. So this is saying that we can only have different CSV files. CSV files don't have the capability to have sheets. So that's the major difference between Microsoft Excel and a CSV file when connecting it to Tableau. And now let's just preview and get more familiar with the interface. So when you have connected your data source, it prompts you to go to the worksheet, which is down below. And you can see that. I will actually click on sheet 1. And now we have these different interfaces. So to the left, we have the fields of our tables, which are in dimensions and measures. This is going to be this sheet 1 is where we're going to create all our data visualization. Columns and rows section is where it's simple as far as like figuring out columns, rows. You got your march cards, your filters, your pages, and even the show me file panel, which is what I enjoy and what I will talk about in later videos. However, this concludes how to connect data sources to Tableau. Thanks for watching.